So, hey, for those catching me on YouTube here, I'm gonna go ahead and say welcome. um, this is gonna be a bit of a, effectively this is a test stream, is what this is, as I am effectively going ahead and testing some stuff out. Fiddling with some settings, trying to deal with some stuff, and that's why I'm of course mirroring myself 3 times. No, for all intents and purposes, well, first of all, I should move chat up above all the webcams, if you please. Okay, and then move that one up, because they're all supposed to be there. Okay, get rid of that one. That one? Nope, that's my main one. That one. Okay. So, you probably are asking yourself, okay, Blue Wolf, seriously, what the hell is this? This is, for all intents and purposes, me creating a, setup for a project. I mentioned that it's a project. There's a reason why I set it up as the stream title is saying, or well, like on Twitch, why the stream title is fiddling with OBS while playing Yu-Gi-Oh. Specifically because I am going to play some Yu-Gi-Oh! Link Evolution while I discuss some stuff. I guess I can go ahead and close that because that is a RAM hog. And then I can go ahead and switch over to this. Actually, there is one thing I do need to see. Okay, yeah, that's good. I'm going to need the game audio down. And then we'll switch over here. So, the idea behind this is actually going to be, so for those of you who are here for the gameplay, I apologize in advance, because you're not going to get that here. Like, just straight up, you are not going to really get too much gameplay. I'm actually surprised I have played as much as this. This is going to be more of me yapping about a project. The reason why I'm going to be sitting here yapping about a project for a couple of hours instead of, playing Sky 3 is hardware problems, actually. Funny enough. Namely, I need another external hard drive because I can't keep bleaching out for another one, and financial issues hit us like a goddamn truck because there is a loan company that I highly recommend you, if you live in Canada and you have one in your city of Canada, to avoid like the goddamn plague. Easy Financial. I don't know how it's spelled, and frankly, I do not care. Here, if it looks like it should be pronounced Easy Financial, avoid them like the plague. Now, I know what you're saying, but loan companies are evil in general, Blue Wolf, and it's like, that's a stereotype that I do not agree with, weirdly enough. So, okay, but I suppose I should get down to why I was saying fiddling with it. You know what? I'm actually going to change my stream title again. Forgive me. Forgive me here. We'll just change this to... Whoops. yapping. That's not gonna work. So we're just gonna redo that. Yapping about a project. Oop. Yapping about a project while playing Yu-Gi-Oh! There. So there we go. Just a casual stream. Casual playthrough because I'm not in it to win. I'm not some thing. Just making this clear right now. I'm a casual player of Yu-Gi-Oh! So don't expect any quality tier stuff. So you're probably thinking, okay, Blue Wolf, what the hell is all this? It's like, what's the point of this? Well, needless to say, this is to me talking about a specific, whatchamacallit? Got words. Come on, Alex. A project of mine that, was actually inspired, believe it or not, by the Star Trek rewrite project done by, I can talk, I swear. The Lorerunner, LoreReloaded, and Jessie Gender, right? Which is funny because two of those people do videos on it, and I do not know about the third. And I'm out of energy drink. Because of course I am. Okay, I didn't throw out at the bag with the third bottle. Sweet! That means I have some root beer to drink. Anyways. And I pitched this one yesterday, actually, to my best friend Steve. He seemed... He had a weird non-reaction, is how I want to put that. But I guess we'll see within the next couple of weeks what he ends up thinking of that. But the idea behind this is... Here, I'll actually start dueling so you have something to have going on in the background here. The idea here is this is basically a test. Can I talk about my rewrite project that I intend to do while talking, like while playing a game in the background type of thing, right? Because that is always that's kind of the catch-22, right? Of how these things work. You have to, for all intents and purposes, establish, okay, hey, got words. See, I'm already failing. Basically establish a system in which you, for all intents and purposes, basically the idea is to have some visuals up while I'm talking about, whatever it is I'm talking about. So, for example, right here, I'm, of course, doing the Heart of the Cards duel against Kaiba, and just kind of getting, effectively, to get the creative juices flowing. Usually, this, I should point over here, this isn't going to mean anything. Did he seriously crush card virus me? Yeah, sure, let's destroy monsters in my deck. Goodbye, Root Kaiser. But anyways, the You might be thinking, well, what the Funkin' Wagner even is a rewrite project? Well, a rewrite project is effectively where, you basically rewrite an existing franchise. Now, obviously, there are degrees of rewrites, right? There's the no holds bar, everything, everything's permitted rewrite option of just straight up fan fiction, right? Just change everything, alternate universe, or sky's the limit, go nuts, basically, right? Some people would do that. And then there's other rewrites that are more about like use the existing canon to do your rewrite, right? Like the Star Trek rewrite project does. Now the fanfiction idea is change whatever the hell you want to whatever the hell you want. The Star Trek rewrite project doesn't do, but from Lorerunner, LoreReloaded and Jessie Gender, they don't do that. That's not their shtick. That's not their bag. That's not the idea. The idea of that one is more, or let's use the existing episodes to write our episode. You freaking bastard. Anyways, So, in other words, the idea being, for example, Star Trek Enterprise, Season 1, Episode 1, Broken Bow. What they did there was, for all intents and purposes, they set it up so that it was, okay, the main premise is tensions with the Klingons. So, alright, let's keep that idea in there to tell our story, right? Then the idea I had was kind of a combination of the two. Effectively kind of a merger of the two ideas. An alternate universe mixed with, let's use the existing episodes to go ahead and do this rewrite. Because the idea would then be we would effectively at that point we would be rewriting the episodes so that we can just change it to whatever we want, kind of a thing. So, for example, the idea I had was alright, they go to Duelist Kingdom, but the flavor and the nature of how Pegasus operates during Duelist Kingdom is completely different, type of thing, right? So, for example, okay, so Pegasus is still the final opponent, right? We're still dealing with Pegasus. He is still, the big bad of the arc, blah, 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 right? Well, why don't we change that so that his later characterization, let's just call it what it is, his proper characterization, is what we end up using to, for all intents and purposes, says, oh, you dirty Jew. His later characterization is what we use as the baseline. In other words, instead of retroactively revealing that Pegasus was always a good guy and not some Machiavellian schemer who was, mustache twirl, as his henchman would imply. Instead, we have it be that Pegasus, for all intents and purposes, like, there was a reason why he had to do what he did during Duelist Kingdom, right? So that way we can just change up the flavor of what it, of what happened during Duelist Kingdom to kind of paint a different picture, so to speak, right? So, for example, and even change up like more minor details, like for example, the Dark Magician always being Yugi's ace. Well, why don't we just make that always Yugi's ace instead of that kind of evolving as we get into Season 2 of DM, right? Just kind of food for thought. I guess that's it for that. So we'll discard Torike, Horn Imp, and that's all I need to discard. But, because the idea basically being, let's kind of change up the story so that it's still the same basic story, but just told in a different way. Effectively a reboot kind of a thing, right? How do we tell a story that, maybe isn't so... What's the word I'm looking for? Heavy-handed, I think, is the word I want to use. So, that kind of thing. So, like for example, instead of excuse me. So instead of for example, instead of Yugi how do I phrase this? Instead of retroactively saying, Tem always had pride, we can actually show that Atem's big character flaw is his pride, if that's supposed to be his weak point, right? Because, and I hate to say this, but Tem's pride and I'm sorry, I'm spoiling that Yami Yugi's name is actually Tem. Sorry. But, the Yami Yugi's frickin' character flaw, instead of saying frickin' trying to retroactively say that by having him play an evil fucking soul-stealing spell card, which I still to this day do not buy for a millisecond that he would do that. Instead, let's have let's have something more akin to let's actually show that pride is kind of one of his things. And also, if we're going to have pride be the thing, then hey, here's an idea. Let's not have Yugi's big issue with Atem almost killing Kaiba, if we're even keeping that, be that he interfered with Yami Yugi's frickin' duel. Because that's stupid, and it always has been. Like, I feel like I don't even need to really explain myself on that one, really. Like, I feel like that should speak for itself, But anyways. But, basically to smooth over these edges, because, to be blunt, it really does feel like they were just making it up as they went along, And there's Exodia. It really did. It felt like they were just making shit up as they went along, and it was really frustrating to see, because it was like, especially if we want to deal with, ooh, Ancient Rules is a decent card. Anyways, if we want to deal with stuff like, what am I even trying to say? If for example, if we want to deal with, Alexis is the only GX character I got right now. Anyways, again, if we want to do some like pride shenanigans with the Tem, let's establish that he has pride instead of waiting retroactively until like 4 seasons, or to have it be an interpretive thing that, oh yeah, you totally had pride. Like, we should be establishing this shit instead of just relying on the audience retroactively picking up on it, That kind of a thing. Which probably doesn't make any sense. Ooh, I got Drago Necro. Nice. Anyways, which probably doesn't make any sense. I acknowledge that. But it's still... These are ideas that just make more sense in my head, And sometimes trying to get them out get my thoughts out into the open is kind of not easy to do, kind of a thing. Yeah, let's get some cards from Playmaker. But it's just kind of something that I wanted to whoops, sorry. It's just something I kind of wanted to do for fun. And clearly, if I want Link monsters, this is where I go. Cypher's Clock Dragon. And Signet Fusion. Huh. Nice. Anyways. The idea behind all of this was always... Ooh, Red Reboot. The idea behind this was always to try and, to create a more... Ooh, nice! Nice! Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight. Useful card! Hey! The idea behind this was always to kind of, like, update Yu-Gi-Oh! Because... I mean, watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Nowadays, especially considering I've been doing that the past little while, oof, boy. That's, that is yikes. let's just call it what it is. Because, holy crap, yeah, we'll face Arcana. Let's see what my deck looks like in this, because it's been a while. But the whole point of a rewrite project is to kind of show, how you would do it differently. It's that whole put your money where your mouth is kind of a mentality, right? Right? Okay, you smarty pants, you think you can make a better show, then prove it, right? You know, you think you could write a way for the Egyptian god cards to be important to the plot without being literally the keys to unlocking unlimited power or weapons that could be used to save or destroy the world. Okay, prove it, right? Prove it, right? Because that is ultimately the idea, right? How would you handle this? So. I mean, whatever, but you know, but that's always the catch with these rewrite projects, right? Rewrites are always inherently, you know, kind of what if scenarios. Well, what if, you know, Star Trek Enterprise was written like this so that the Suliban weren't immediately in the first episode, right? That kind of a thing. Dark Flare Knight. And that's Dark Magician. Interesting. Dark Magic Attack. Damn. Well, ain't you a special little muffin? Jeez. But anyways, you know, and that's always been my approach to this is, you know, yeah, let's actually write it so that way it's something, you know, ultimately you would want to watch, which I know should go without saying, but you'd be surprised how many different rewrites kind of get that. Well, okay, let me put it to you this way. Hey, I'm saying this wrong. Holy crap. Fusion. What are you fused? Oh. Okay, so I'm dealing with Dark Flare Knight. Right. Sheesh. But anyways. Yeah. Nah, I better just eat the damage till I have something that's, you know, worth using that with. The idea behind a rewrite project is well, how would you take what worked, you know, how do you take what worked, is the idea of taking what worked and just getting rid of what didn't. That kind of thing, right? And, you know, and that's always the catch-22, right? Oh, fuck, of course. You know, that's always the catch-22 of, well, we gotta, you know, if we were going to do this rewrite, we gotta do it in a specific way, right? You have to establish the rules, and that part is what I always feel like is the most important part, right, in any rewrite project. Ooh, that actually works. There we go. because you have to establish rules to kind of follow. Now, obviously, I have rules. I've actually written them. I've actually written them down, right? You know, set up your rules, follow your rules, and, you know, go from there. Activated that too soon, apparently. Anyways. Oh. Am I gonna survive this turn? Nope. Of course. Of course. Every time. Every goddamn time. Anyways. Okay, try this again. But anyways, you know, yeah, that's the whole idea behind this, right? To do the rewrite in a way that it could update it more for, you know, the audiences of today. So instead of sitting there and being like, for example, having whatchamacallit, you know, so instead of having, you know, for example, the Yu-Gi-Oh decks of the weak-ass characters, we could actually give somebody, like, good example here, Arcana, who I'm fighting here, we could actually give somebody like Arcana a deck that actually works. Now, obviously, you want to limit yourself, because, of course, you want to put some limits on your characters in order to try and mitigate their overpoweredness, right? Because there's always the risk of, well, now you've just made your characters too damn strong. So, you know, so it then becomes a matter of, okay, now what, right? Oh, of course you had Dark Magic Attack in your hand. Why wouldn't you have had Dark Magic Attack in your fucking hand? God damn it. Oh, this is so stupid. Anyways. And of course I get crap like Jar of Greed. Need instead of something useful. I might as well activate it just to see what I get. A card that only slightly would have helped. Okay, I'm gonna barely survive this. Great. Okay. Give me something good. Not that it matters. God damn it. Anyways. Ugh. Of course, you had to attack with that one. Like I said, didn't even matter. Fuck. And it's all because I'm drawing the wrong fucking cards. It's like, ugh. Anyways. But yeah, no, it's, you know, rewrite projects should have rules, obviously, and you should stick to them, and yeah. Like I said, I've got a whole couple of pages of notes that I actually, you know, kind of wanted to go over, because actually this video that I've turned into a stream kind of actually serves two functions. One of those being my roommate hates music being way too freaking loud. Anyways. Anyways. I'm gonna go ahead and special summon Kaiser Vorschreder. We'll set Bug. And birth rates are important, so we'll do that. Because I know him. Oh, come on! Fucking evac device. Ah! Screw evac device. It's an awful card. But yeah, no, I've got an entire page, a couple of pages of notes here. Where, are you for fucking real right now? No, I don't want to waste that. Okay, stop asking if I want to fucking waste that. I don't want to waste that game. Come on. This is just getting stupid. Anyways, what was I saying? Right. So, I've actually... Will you fuck off already? I've actually kind of obviously set up some rules. Rules to, you know, to do this with. Because of course I have. Because, you know, that's the whole idea of this. Dark Magician, are you serious right now? And that's a skill animation, because of course it is. Oh, yes, actually. Because I forgot I had Shadow Spell, because that was actually the card I had there. Yes, because now I'm going to destroy Dark Magician and get stronger. Screw you, Dark Magician. God damn it. Anyways, main phase 2. Even if this gets destroyed, I don't care anymore. So. But yeah. Yeah, you know, establish some rules, get stuff going. So, since Arcana finishes this goddamn turn so that I can get this shit done. And I just kind of wanted to go over some ideas here, and did he really just mirror force me? Oh my god. God, that music. It's been causing CopyWrong problems on my VODs as of late. God damn it. Well, not my VODs, but you get my point. Anyways. Yes. We will go ahead and special summon Alternative White Dragon. Actually, that's actually kind of a nifty, kind of a good segue. So let's go over my notes here, right? So the first point of this, for how this pre-write would work. No, I don't want to activate a card. Thanks. What would I even activate? Oh, hell to the no. Okay, it's the end phase. Now I'll activate Regeki Break. Get rid of that damn card. Which was MST, funny enough. Then at the end phase, I'll go ahead and I'll call back Blue Eyes in order to screw you forever, Arcana. Jesus. Anyways. But yeah. So the first thing is to follow canon as close as possible. Right? So, in other words, I actually wrote down a couple of examples. So, the order of the arcs, for example. Wow, I have a forbidden deck. Well, actually, yeah, that makes sense. Don't I? Or limited cards. You're not gonna. Oh. Oh, right, because this game hasn't updated with the new rulings. Ugh. I should really see if I can restructure this thing. But anyways, what was I saying? Right. So yeah, sticking to the first idea is follow canon as close as possible, right? The order of the arcs, you know, what villains are present in those arcs, that kind of a thing, right? And, you know, try to stick as close as you can while still changing things. Now, the idea basically being, well, like I mentioned earlier with Pegasus, right? Have Pegasus be there, but have his reasons for being the opponent in the Duelist Kingdom arc be different. Right? I don't have Apple, do I? I do not have Apple Magician Girl. God damn it. But yeah, so like I said with Pegasus, you know, Pegasus is still the main, you know, the main opponent, but he ends up being like, there's more to it than just he's the main opponent, right? It's not the exact same, right? Now, if we wanted to, for example, still make one of the trump cards be, for example, Black Magic Ritual here, perfect timing on this that I did not plan, I want to make that crystal clear. Here, and right, if we still wanted that to be, you know, to have some big, you know, play in the climax of the arc, we could do that. We would just have to find a way to make it work, right? To kind of make it so that there's just the scenario that we engender still relies on Magician of Black Chaos winning, Dark Yugi the match, right? I didn't put this, but so I should probably go ahead and write that somewhere. Okay, here we go. I got a spot to write it, because there's one thing I need to jot down here. Using RL effects. With one exception. That, of course, that exception, by the way, basically being, oh, hey, Card of Sanctity. Card of Sanctity is still the ultimate hand refresh combo in our thing, because seriously, screw the idea that it was, ooh, I got one of the legendary knights, Critias. Anyways, mostly because screw the idea that frickin' got 2 dark magic attacks. Anyways, Card of Sanctity's real world effect is, garbage. Just to put that as bluntly as I can. Ebon High Magician. Nice. Oh, I don't have enough. Okay. But, in fact, let me seek it so that I can show you exactly why I'm like, yeah, no, screw that nonsense. Oh, hey, I got Chaos Max. And that. I even have Blue Eyes Toon Dragon. Ah, that's funny. I've got Burst Stream, Buster Belator. That's all cool. Anyways, let's see. I don't have Card of Sanctity. Huh. Okay, let's see if there is a campaign. I can't just look at it. Dang it. But anyways, yeah. So Card of Sanctity. We'll just concentrate on this for now. So Card of Sanctity. Basically the idea is you banish everything you control just so you can in your every resource you have in order to draw 2 from your deck. I'm sorry, what? Like, it would just be better if it was just both players draw 2 cards. Because then it's like, you know, then it would be just fair because both you and your opponent are drawing 2 cards. You know, just make it that if you really want to frickin' nerf it. But no, they had to make it like completely fucking unplayable because Konami. Damn it. God damn it. Anyways. Now, assuming Steve and Matt, by extension Matt, agree to these rules, Duel Monsters specifically has to have the following. Any arc that was in the manga. Now, admittedly, this is actually something that I was meaning for GX and GX5D's Sexel and basically all of them to have the same arcs. Now, obviously, this is going to require me to actually, sit down and watch. Actually sit down and really watch Zexel, and sit down and and actually finish watching Vrains. But effectively, the idea is to keep all of the major arcs intact, but to rework them so they're not garbage. GX's Society of Light arc comes to mind immediately, because I cannot fucking stand that arc. I think it's actually one of the highest tier trash arcs of all time. I mean, I get true, I haven't seen it in the Japanese version, so we'll see if that changes my mind. But I do know the motivations of one character in the Japanese version. Jaden deserves to die because he has a favorite archetype. My justification is my dad's dead. Let's ignore the fact that said dad is actually absorbed into a duel monster, ran into a fucking duel monster, and not actually dead, but, he's presumed dead, right? Missing, dead, whatever, right? And oh my god, the pages are starting to fray on this thing. This is a terrible notebook. I should have put this in my other one. But anyways. And I lost the page. There we go. So, there's that. So, what else? I do intend to so yeah, the ideas are going to be, again, this is kind of a pitch thing that I'm doing live, because why not? And so the ones that I would include from the manga, that have to be included from the manga, are Death Tea, D&D with Yami Bakura, Duelist Kingdom, Battle City, that includes the Blimp and the Tower, by the way. Okay, and of course, the Millennium World arc, or World of Memories arc, or Dawn of the Duel. They're all good titles. Because even though, if I'm remembering correctly, even though Zexel's backstory is, Zex is the true origin of duel monsters, basically, which is also another point we'd have to discuss, by the way. Effectively, we would have to go ahead and I'll just go ahead and duel while I'm talking about this. Effectively, CopyWrong. Woo. Anyways, it's not even that it's bad music she's blaring. Aaron, that's not the problem. It's that it's CopyWrong to hell and back. That's the only problem. God, I fucking hate CopyWrong. Where the hell was I? Let's see. So yeah, so the discussion point we would have to that I'd have to discuss with the boyos is the what I'd have to discuss with the boyos is in regards to the fillers. So what fillers are we keeping and what fillers are we just kind of vetoing and saying, no. Right? So, for example, there's the two-parter where we're introduced to Rebecca Hawkins. The less I say about that, the better. So, yeah. Then there's the Legendary Heroes, aka Dual Monster Quest. Dual Monster Quest was a virtual game that Kaiba Corp's board of directors, also known as the Big Five, trapped Kaiba in, right? So that's neat. So yeah. So Legendary Heroes, Virtual World, that's the Noah Kaiba stuff. That one's probably got the biggest chance if I had to put a finger on it. I'd probably say that one's got the best chance of succeeding. Nightmare Steel Cage. Are you serious? Anyways. But anyways. Really? Pfizer does? might lose this one either way, because this is fucking stupid. Because we'll see if Destiny board has an animation. It does not. Anyways. So yeah. So the virtual world, Doma, aka Waking the Dragons. That needs to be, that needs to be discussed. Do we keep the Legendary Dragons arc? And then Grand Championship. Sorry, I got distracted by the duel. Anyways, so yeah, those are the ones. That's Rebecca, Legendary Heroes, Virtual World, and Waking the Dragons and Grand Championship. Oh, I should also mention that I forgot to mention, because I'm an idiot, I forgot to mention freaking, whatchamacallit, that, Dungeon Dice Monsters. You know, that's another one that I'm like, yeah, it's kind of one of those things that I kind of wanted to include because it was in the manga, so that's the thing, right? And that's my big shtick, you know? Anything that was in the manga should be in our rewrite, kind of a thing. So, yeah. Okay. I thought that prevented the monster from attacking, but nope. It's just as long as Gamma's on the field, he can take damage from it being in combat. Okay. Let's just go ahead and have Feral Imp on the field. Oh, you dirty Jew. Anyways. So... How many standby phases does this thing take? Third standby phase. Okay. Eat 1450 damage. Yatch. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and, because he's gonna die anyway, summon Skull. Ugh. Damn it. But anyways, yeah. Okay, it looks like my mic's not picking that up. Good. God. Dark Necropheter. Wonderful. That means I gotta be really careful. Let's go with some tools and Soul Exchange, because why not? really annoyed by that. Cataville Omen, we're just gonna put Destiny Board on the top of his deck. Wonderful. That's not good. Oh. Okay. Let's go ahead and activate this. Jiggin the Specialist. Can I do this? I think I can, yes. Alright. Oh yeah, I can easily do this. Alright. First, Summon Skull will get rid of Dark Necro here. Ah, no. Cancel that. Gazelle will get rid of that. Giant Soldier of Stone will deal some damage, and then there we go. Okay. There we go. So. Oh, yeah. So the fillers need to be discussed. Now let's get into the individual season rules, because the idea I had for this was, hey, let's have each individual season kind of have its own progression towards, you know, the real card game kind of thing. So, for example, how do I put this? God damn it. Let's see. So, Season 1 is basically, of course, Duelist Kingdom stuff. So the 2,000 life points, drawing for turn, even on the first, no tributes, and no direct. This is a change I was thinking of making. No direct attacks except on empty field at start of turn. So, for example, so when you end your turn, you are inviting your opponent to attack you directly if you have an empty field. Okay? If you don't put a monster on the field, then you're welcoming your opponent to attack you directly, which is extremely dangerous because 2,000 life points, right? And then, of course, Tiki's Curse. Anyways. Oh, come on. Let me end my turn. God damn you. There. Anyways. So yeah, that's the idea. 2,000 life points, no tributes, no direct attacks. X. And then of course, lose at 0 or through Exodia. Basically the idea being there is no real instant kills outside of Exodia in the earlier game. Right? Oh, of course you're gonna do that. I could have done that before. Whoops. Oh well. Anyways, so 2,000 life points. Points, no tributes. Blah blah blah. Season 2, we'll up that to 4,000. We'll keep the first turn draw, and then basically we'll be Battle City. You know, the 5-6 star monsters are 1 tribute, 7 and higher 2 tributes. God cards requiring 3 tributes. Losing on, of course, there's 0 life point 0 decking out and Exodia, with the anti-rules put in, and then I basically have to discuss summoning sickness with fusion monsters. Now, to explain that real quick, there is a ruling known as summoning sickness in Magic the Gathering. In Magic the Gathering, summoning sickness, for all intents and purposes is my phone being stupid. Summoning sickness, for all intents and purposes, is oh my god. I don't even think she heard me, but whatever. Tiki Soul. Oh, what? Damn it. Okay, Fairy Box. Hey, and you're at 0. Cool. Anyways. Yes, I want to pay 500 for that. God damn it. God damn it. Just had to be a day she had off. So yeah, 4,000 life points, Battle City rules. Okay. Where the hell was I? God, Brittany, your music. Okay. So yeah, season 3. He is basically if my plans come to fruition, will for all intents and purposes be the virtual world arc. So get rid of the anti-rule and bring in whatchamacallit, bring in the Deckmaster system, right? So then season 4, which would then be Doma, I am never gonna get anywhere with this, am I? I actually just forego this. Jesus. Okay. Where the hell was it? Yes, I want to pay the 500 for that. Summon Panther Warrior, because why not? We'll sack Alligator Sword to deal 2,000 damage. Why not? I'm with it. I'm good. Okay. So, looks like I'm gonna win this. Cool. Yes, I'll pay the 500 to keep it. To kiss the dragon! Baby dragon, that is. Alright. And we'll just direct attack and win. So yeah, Season 4 essentially would be the Doma arc. So you basically would just take out the Deckmaster system and put in the Orichalco stuff. Also, this is officially really the place where the summoning sickness would be defeated. Defeated's the wrong word, I guess. Mystical Beast Circuit and Temple of the Kings, as well as Cataville Omen. Nice. Wise choice getting rid of the absolutely stupid duel between Yami Merrick and that. And then of course these are the Doma duels down here. And then that's the final duel. Anyways. So yeah. And then Season 5, it would just be just get rid of the Orichalcos and basically it'd be just straight up the normal game at that point. So, movie rules, if we're including any of the movies, which I doubt we are, but it's something to discuss, that I'll have to discuss with the boyos. The Season 0 movie will just use Season 1 rules, because Season 1 is going to incorporate the Season 0 stuff. Pyramid of Lame, if we're including that, is the Season 3's rules. Well, I guess technically Season 2, but whatever. The point is that it will just do that, and then DSOD, of course, is the standard rules. But at 8,000, because why not? And then, of course, we'll have to discuss that for future stuff. Do we keep the life points at 4,000, or do we up the life points to 8,000? Excuse me. That's something to discuss. So the GX rules, same as Season 5. That's pretty straightforward. There's nothing to really change. GX didn't really have any special rules within its story to really warrant that, so there you go. 5Ds, basically you have the ground duels, which are the same as GX, with the turbo duel rules effectively bringing back Speed World and speed counters. Speed World, speed counters, and speed spells. Because I thought that was a nifty idea, and it made it so that you couldn't just spam spells. The biggest problem I had with turbo duels in Arc 5, funny enough, was actually they just spam spells. They just spam spells across the board. Now, we'll get into my thoughts on that more in Arc 5 in a minute here. But yeah, no, I want to bring back the speed spells. I want the speed spells to be a thing. I want the speed spells to be... Yes. I want the speed spells to be a thing, and I want them to be there. Then we get to Zexal. Now, Zexal is basically just 5D's ground duels, minus the drawing on first turn thing. That's... In real life, that's where they got rid of that rule. So in our rewrite, that's where we would get rid of the rule. Consistency, to just kind of, so we could kind of, kind of address that idea as we go, right? Oh, yeah, each series would also establish its rules at the beginning of the show. So the first duel would establish the DM rule. The first duel episode of DM would establish the season 1 stuff. And season 2, of course, when we get into the Battle City stuff, the Battle City rules will be established. The Deckmaster system gets explained at the beginning of season 3. The Orichalcos gets explained in the beginning of season 4. And then and then if we have to have somebody comment and say, oh yeah, they got rid of summoning sickness, didn't they? Because I think that's the only rule that I changed for that. Yeah, because season 5 is just, get rid of the Orichalcos. And then it's basic duels. We can do that with GX. We can establish the rules a bit too. Which is funny because we can actually use GX as kind of a, let's establish some more technical side of things, because it always pissed me off that the lessons in GX were stupid things like categorization of cards, categorization of monsters, categorization of basic rules. No, let's use GX as a jumping off point for stuff like chains. How chains work, how they resolve backwards. Different methods of, what summoning conditions are. So, when a card says that, what is the difference between a card saying, can only be special summoned by fusion summon and can only be fusion summoned with the above materials, that kind of thing. I've left my Switch idle too long. And that kind of a thing, right? And then 5Ds, of course, would have to explain turbo duels, because we wouldn't have to, because GX, we would bank on people already have watched GX in order to establish how we do that. And we can have a couple of callbacks to it within certain episodes of 5Ds. So then the same can be said with Zexal. I mean, we can even use Zexal as kind of a jumping off point. Obviously, we'd have to explain Synchros in 5Ds and Xyz monsters in Zexal. I didn't write that down as a ruling thing because that's just a duh, right? Now, Arc 5 is where I basically just... Let me put it this way. Arc 5 has got the most rewriting that I want to do to it, because Arc 5 is just... Look, I know a lot of people like Arc 5, and if you do, that's cool, but... Oh my god, do I not like Arc 5, okay? Arc 5 is... Arc 5 is a mess. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. So, for the most part, it's going to be the same as Zexal, but there are a couple of changes. So I'm just going to go ahead and read my notes for you. And then I will explain what the funkin' Wagner I'm talking about in these notes. So, Arc 5 rules. Same as Zexal, except first turn rule also applies to speed duels. So in other words, the idea being that in speed duels, you could go ahead and, even on your first turn, draw for turn. That was also to kind of establish a difference. Also, like I said, the first turn draw actually, that's a redundant statement, isn't it? Because I said Zexal was where we were getting rid of the first turn draw. So, okay, never mind. Also, speed counters. They're still a thing. Speed World is still a thing. But you're probably thinking, okay, Blue Wolf, how the hell do pendulums work in speed duels if you're going to have speed counters and speed spells? I was like, how the hell is you're going to set the pendulum scale? Well, you will need speed count. Also, I'll just read the next part of this runoff paragraph here. Speed counters equal to scale number needed to set the pendulum scale. Also, pendulum scales and are on the left and rightmost spell and trap card zone. Now, what I mean by this need the number of speed counters equal to the pendulum scale is I don't have any pendulum monsters, so I can't really show this off on camera here, but let's take... Actually, I could probably pull up an image. Give me 1 second here. Damn it, where's my remote? Oh my god. Really? Really? Where is that stupid thing? Oh my god. I always hate when this happens because it's always in an obvious spot. So, switch back over to my computer. Ugh. Because I need to pull an image. This will not take me very long. Give me 1 second here. I will just go ahead and pull... Actually, I could just pull from my images, couldn't I? Ah! It is so slow. Everything's going slow. Why is everything going slow? I need you to go quicker than that. Come on. Okay, pictures. Yu-Gi-Oh! The images are loading so slow. It's because I'm running OBS that my images are so damn slow. Okay. No, it's just better if I do it a different way. Go up here. Yeah, we'll just use these custom cards. Where is... Perfect. This is the one I want. Alright, so we'll close Firefox. And we will bring in new source. I need an image. We'll just call this pendulum example. And I need to bring up image. Well, now that I know exactly where it is, I can close that. I need to go into pictures. I need to go to custom cards. Our C set. And we'll go ahead and we'll use this guy. So, actually, I should also bring up another image. Give me 1 sec. We'll just call this one example 2. And we'll just make this nice and simple here. So, these are 2 custom cards that my best friend Steve made. So, we'll use these 2 guys as an example. Okay? Let's take Falks here. Okay? So, Falks. I'm not gonna read his effects and everything. You can read them if you want to. It's it's just basic stuff. So these are like created pendulum dragonities. You can't even see me. So let's pull my webcam up. So you see these numbers here? Those are of course the pendulum scales. So you see how this Falks here is 9, and over there we have Caesar, or weird way to spell that, Steve. But anyways, we have Caesar over there, who's 9. In order to set both of these guys, I would need 10 speed counters. In other words, I am crippling pendulums in speed duels. Now you're probably thinking, well, Blue Wolf, why would you even do that? Oops. Why would you even, do something like that? Oh, very simple. Very simple and straightforward. I would want that to, the idea basically was to, yes, I want to remove it. The idea basically was for this, I shouldn't have even done that, because I could have just saved it. Anyways, point is, I wanted to nerf pendulums, because that was one of Arc 5's biggest problems. Yuya was getting out of everything by basically just setting his pendulum scales all willy-nilly. And ditto with spell cards. It was just spamming spells. And I wanted a way to kind of quail that and encourage more strategic thinking instead of just spell happy. Now, granted, that was, of course, the real-life format during the Arc 5 era, but I wanted to kind of quail that a little bit. So, yeah, and also, by the way, the pendulum zones are on the left and rightmost thing, which actually, funny enough, in order to demonstrate that one, requires me to actually go ahead and demonstrate with the game. So, back to the game. So I'll go ahead and I'll show you. I'll do a test duel here. No, I don't want that one. Let's do trade bait. We'll use the story deck because I don't really have pendulum monsters. So because the idea here, as you'll see in a second here, is okay. Okay, so that's just fixed, period. They didn't actually change it. So basically, minus those two extra zones. Here, I'll show with the cursor. These two zones, with the exception of these two zones not being here, this is how the field will look in, in our Arc 5 rewrite. Because, yeah, no, you are pendulum scale 4, so I don't want to touch you. Okay. But yeah, because originally you had extra zones on each side of the field that were just like, wow, right? Here, have some, 2 extra spell and trap zones, basically. It was really dumb. And it just didn't work. It just was not an interesting idea. Just discard that. Whoops, I put that in the wrong thing. Okay, let's just send those back. There we go. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to show off. I guess while I've got this field up, I can go ahead and talk about this. Vrains is basically going to use the exact field you're seeing. The only difference is that it's going to use the extra deck rules. So in other words, you need to have link monsters in order to have more than one monster from the extra deck around at a time, right? Because, well, okay, Konami wanted to try and mitigate. They saw the pendulums were out of control, so they kind of came up with an idea, but they didn't think about limiting the what am I trying to say? They didn't limit the rule to just pendulums. They limited it to every extra deck monster ever, and that what's the word I want to use here? Is kneecapped a good word? Heard? Yeah, kneecapped is a good word. Heard? It kneecapped like every. And I want to emphasize this. Every single freaking every single frickin' extra deck archetype, like you know, DDDs, heroes like DDDs, heroes, all kinds of monsters, any archetype that relied on its extra deck in any capacity, nerfed. And I want to stress this the way I say this. When I mean nerfed, I don't mean, oh, it's slightly less, it's slightly less playable now. No, they actually frickin' kneecapped it with Master Rule 4. It was awful. Like, it was straight up frickin' just, what were they thinking levels of, are you serious right now? Because, how do I even put this? Master Rule 4 was a good idea that they did not think through. They thought, on paper, they thought it through not too bad. They thought it through. They did think it through. In execution, it was clear they did not think through anything. Your opponent cannot, spell cards. Okay, so I just can't target you with spell cards. Well, whoopity-doo, Basil. What do I want? Sure, let's bring you in defense. So then you get to search out another Stargazer Magician. Because of course. Excuse me. But yeah. Master Rule 4 was a good idea that they just screwed up royally with, and it just made it like nigh unplayable. Okay, why are you not getting rid of my guys here? Oh, so in other words, I've created a wall of you can't touch this. Okay. Well, that's, oops. Here's hoping for Odd Eye's Pendulum Dragon. God damn it. Oh, come on! Ugh. But yeah, no, Master Rule 4 was a good idea because pendulums were just out of fucking control during the Arc 5 era. Like, oh, yes, there we go. Special summon? Oh, place in the pendulum. Yeah, no. No, 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 no. No. Here's Odd Eye's Pendulum Dragon. I've never seen that summoning animation, if I'm honest. Anyways. But anyways, yeah, pendulums were just out of freaking control. Like you basically every turn you were spamming 5 monsters, and it was completely unfair. And and there wasn't even any restrictions in regards to, hey, having eating up, so you could only have like 3 spells and traps. No, full row of spells and traps, pendulum scale set, and you could get rid of and you could spam the field constantly. It was disgusting how stupidly easy it was. And how stupidly easy it was to frickin' to just spam your opponent constantly. Go away. I know you can search out another card, but that doesn't mean anything because Whip Snake is going to end you. Anyways, but yeah, no. Master Rule 4 was a cool idea, but the problem was that it was just there was no balance, right? There was just absolutely no balance, and it was so stupid. It was a good idea that could have been cool. It just wasn't, and it was really just meh. Again, it's gonna require me to go ahead and re-watch Arc 5 to really get a feel for it. or but yeah, because for example, playing this game is not exactly going to be a good substitute. Yeah, is not a good substitute, right? Not for a rewrite project like this, because you want all of the proper info that you can, and a game like this is going to water it down completely. Which, funny enough, would be a watering down of the watering down, which is the dub. So, so the only other thing to mention about Vrains, because I've already mentioned the extra monster zones, is that nerf pendulum monsters. The field size gets reduced, so effectively, you basically get rid of two spell and trap card zones and two monster zones, one on each side of your field, and you also get rid of what am I trying to say? You also get rid of any and all okay, basically you shrink the field, which also shrinks your use of pendulum monsters. In other words, using pendulums in a speed duel, it's basically if you played Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links recently, it's basically pendulum monsters in there. Possible to do, but ill-advised because you only have one space for spells and traps otherwise. If you do that, and it's like, oh my god. Yeah, so I also have a question saying, are we even going to include pendulums in Brains, really? Because that's really what that question boils down to. And then Bonds Beyond Time would, if we include that, would just follow the standard rules. I think that's all for this little pitch thing. I don't even know why I bothered with the stream. I guess it was just I felt like saying this wrong. I felt obligated to do so. I've been yapping and fighting CopyWrong for about 2 hours now, so I think I'm gonna chop this off. I'm gonna upload this to YouTube, and then I'm gonna shoot a link into Steve's Discord to give him to kind of get some feedback from him on this. Regardless, I hope you have enjoyed this, and I will see you guys in the future. For the curious, Trails in the Sky 3 is not going to start right away. Basically, I am going to try and get it some... I'm going to see if I can borrow that external hard drive, but basically, do not hold your breath on that, so... because that's either waiting for me to borrow the pre-existing external hard drive, or it is waiting for me to do other stuff. And the reason why I haven't uploaded even my Sky 1 VODs yet, I still haven't managed to get my hands on good editing software yet, or acceptable editing or even acceptable editing software. So, regardless, I'm chopping off. This has been Blue Wolf Alex of the Lore Walkers, and hey, I'm going to make this a public VOD, so yo, anybody who sees this, I might post this on the community announcements thing on Lore's Discord too. So, hey, if you're watching this VOD and you're not Steve, I welcome your feedback too, because this is going to be kind of a, anybody that pokes in that's a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh, this is open to you, okay? In fact, that's actually one of the things I want to fix with this rewrite. Cough, cough, Alexis. Cough, cough, owie, right? I want to basically just remove the nonsense that existed. Oh, come I wanted to remove the nonsense that existed in this one, in the original Yu-Gi-Oh, in GX, 5Ds. I don't remember any nonsense there, so because there were two really awesome female characters that I remember from here. Those, of course, being Akiza or Aki, if you prefer, and Sherry Little Plonk. Zexel was another one, and because, although for different reasons, I'll mention that in a minute. Arc 5, again, for kind of different reasons, and then Vrains for the exact same reasons as DM and GX. Now, what are the differences with these two? Zexel was, hey, let's make every female character fucking annoying, from what I remember. And Arc 5 was, we're going to have this awesome character, and she's going to be awesome and amazing and brilliant. And then she's going to lose, and that's going to screwball any chance of her being strong. Oh, and then we're going to put a parasite in her brain that's also going to make her the plaything of a creepy scientist. I don't feel like I need to explain that. Anyways, I'm going to chop this off. I'm going to upload it, and then I'm probably going to delete this VOD off my computer because I don't need to hang on to it. I hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you next time. One last thing I should mention. If this rewrite project is going to happen, it is going to wait until my best friend, I'll link his YouTube down in below, but yeah, effectively I will link his latest VOD is what I will do. Basically, you got until he finishes Borderlands 3, playing that with Matt. I, of course, will be in the voice chat because Steve thought that I didn't want to be in the voice chat. To be fair, I didn't clarify, so that is on me. That is partially on me. It's basically a scenario of everybody screwed up, so. Regardless, I am going to go ahead and chop off. I'm rambling at this point. I mean, I've been rambling for 2 hours, but the point, and the more so point I'm trying to make is, it's time for me to chop off. So, Blue Wolf Alex of the Lore Walkers signing out. Have a good one, and yeah. If you got any thoughts or comments, let me know. In the comments section. Later, guys. Oh, what the hell? Dual standby.